how can I overcome my stage fright?
What exactly does public speaking mean to you?
That is the key to a good speech.
Right. A very good day to all of you. Welcome to the Speech Masters Past Winners interview. So here with us today we have a very special person. She is the second runners-up of Speech Master 2024 and she's from our very own Gavel club at our very own university. So Miss Mineli de Croos, welcome to the interview.
Good morning, Priyasha, and good morning, everyone.
So Aki, to start things off, can you give us a brief introduction about yourself, what you are currently engaged in, and a bit about your perspective on public speaking?
Okay, so currently I am a fourth year undergraduate at the Department of Forestry and Environmental Sciences of the Faculty of Applied Science, University of Sri Jayawardhanapura. Currently I am in my final semester, so it's stuck with the research and end-semester exams and everything. So when talking about my perspective on public speaking, well, since I was a little girl, my grandma was the person who inspired me to become a speaker. You know why? Because when I was a little girl, I slept on my grandma's lap and she used to tell me these beautiful bedtime stories, which actually inspired me to be creative, become a storyteller like her. So that was the first step. The next step was, how can I overcome my stage fright? Because that is a common thing every speaker faces. Now, I overcame my stage fright when I joined the Shakespeare drama cast of my school. That is where I lost my stage fright. And there afterwards, the university, mainly the Gavel Club. Gavel to me is home, and it's more than a club, it's a family. It's the place where I started my public speaking journey. It's the place where I started competing, representing my university at public speaking competitions. So being a public speaker is being a storyteller, because public speaking is all about that personal speech, bringing out the personal stories and being close to the audience. So that's my perspective about public speaking.
Thank you so much, Aki. Thank you so much for this wonderful perspective. I'm sure it resounds with a lot of us. So, what exactly does public speaking mean to you?
Okay, so public speaking is something personal and close to my heart. Now, I always question people, do you know the difference between oratory and public speaking? Because oratory is basically looking at a script and reading someone else's work. But public speaking is not. It's something special. You talk to the audience, you connect with the audience and share personal stories. Like a public speaker's greatest achievement is not certificates or trophies. But if at least one person in the audience comes to you and says, I was inspired by you, I have been in that situation. Now that is the true victory for a public speaker.
Right. Thank you so much, Aki. So, how do you think public speaking can help a person in real life?
That's a lot. That's quite a lot, because you're nothing without public speaking these days. You can have billions of degrees, you can be a PhD holder, but if you are not a good communicator, you can't go forward in this world. So even at the university, even at school, we have these presentations, competitions, and I find people struggling. People scared to speak in front of their lecturers, their colleagues, but there's always a time to start. It's all about taking that first step and starting your journey, your public speaking journey. Because there's a lot of doors that open when you are a good communicator.
True, very true, Aki. So, what exactly? So, I also remember your final speech at the grand stage of Speech Master. It was really inspiring for a lot of the youngsters who were present at that moment. So, what exactly inspired you to write your final speech?
Okay, so my final speech, was quite inspired by the story of Red Riding Hood. But we all know the story of Red Riding Hood, you know, this little girl going to see her grandma across the woods collecting flowers, and then she comes across this big bad wolf. Okay, so in real life, we don't have big bad wolves that come after us, but this wolf can be disguised as different people. So my speech is basically about harassment, regardless of the gender, both female and male. Both genders can be harassed, physically or mentally. A single word, an action, even a look can harass someone. So that is quite sensitive and close to my heart. And that is the story of Red Riding Hood and the situations in the society, the current society. That's what inspired me to connect these stories together and bring out my story.
Thank you so much, Aki. So, what were the little techniques and the little tricks that you used to convey what you actually meant to the audience or whoever is listening to you?
Yes, so what I suggest to everyone, all the speakers, is use your talents in your speeches. If you are a good singer, use that. If you are a good actor, you can use that. Even if you are a magician, you can do a trick on stage. So my strengths are towards acting and singing. So how I started my speech was by acting. I acted out the two characters of the big bad wolf as grandma and the little Red Riding Hood. So I use a lot of storytelling techniques like that, acting in my speeches, and in my previous speeches, I've sung during the speech. I also talked with the audience. I questioned the audience and engaged with the audience. That is the key to a good speech.
Right. Thank you so much, Aki. So, can you give us your insights on how Gavel and the Gavel Club of the university has shaped you as an individual, shaped you as a person to grow in this world?
Yes, so as I mentioned, Gavel to me is home. It's the place where everything started. And when I came to university, I was eagerly waiting till the new intake of the Gavel Club. And from educational meetings to, those days it was COVID, so we had the meetings online. So we couldn't interact much. However, after we met in the physical platform, we had many meetings and events. So there was this best speaker competition in my first year, as I can remember. And I was scared those days to take part in competitions to represent my university. But then, after I completed my CC1, my seniors, the president those days and the VP Education, they identified my talents and spoke to me separately and encouraged me to apply for Best Speaker. Best Speaker laid the foundation to my public speaking journey. So this is a family. Your seniors are just one call away from you, and I can remember so many seniors came to help me those days, even amidst COVID. And as I always say, we are always here for the Gavel Club. At any time, you just have to ring us and invite us. We are always here to support you all.
Thank you so much. It means a lot to us. So, my final question to you is, what's the one main key piece of advice that you have for a future aspiring public speaker or a leader?
It's simple. Take that first step.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's okay. That speaks volumes actually. So thank you so much, guys, for joining with us today, and a big round of applause to Mineli for joining with us today. Yeah, hope to see you compete in a speech master competition. So I hope this interview also motivated you and inspired you to take that final big step, and hope that step is not your final step and your first step towards so many achievements in your future. So thank you guys for joining with us today. Have a great day.